name's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've done like these seasonal videos. I do weekly videos, vlogs, books, fashion, stuff like that. They pop up every once in a while. My life's kind of crazy. What can I say? I'm trying to be more consistent with videos. But I figured I would start with a fall TBR video. Keep in mind, this is only some of the books I plan to read this fall. For me, I say fall is like September, October, November, because it's like the super cold months. And come like December, I really don't read Christmas books per se. I have read Christmassy books, but I prefer not to because I'm not a huge Christmas person for personal reasons I'm not going to disclose. But I don't really have like Christmassy spirit around December. I'm kind of just like, meh, whatever, cool. But for this main reason, I do not read Christmas themed books. I have a few on my TBR that I do want to read this year, but I don't go out and feel like I have to buy a ton of Christmas books. Winter theme, yes. Christmas theme, not so much, but I do have to finish the ones that I bought. They were like Christmassy themed, so I mean, I've had a few favorite Christmas books that I read. But let's just kind of jump into my fall TBR. I am currently doing a read until I find a 5-star read video. And I'm halfway done this one, The Woods Are Always Watching by Stephanie Perkins. So this is about two girls that are going to be separated, best friends, separated off to college. They go on a 3-day hiking trip and stuff starts to happen, basically. Horrid by Katrina Leno. This is another library book, so this is going to be another one that I read like right after. This is part of my vlog video that I'm doing, so this is going to be read right away. Now this one, let's just kind of see. Following her father's death, Jane North Robinson and her mom, Ruth Ellen, moved from sunny California to dreary old house in Maine where Ruth grew up. All they want is a fresh start, but behind North Manor's doors lurks a history that leaves them feeling more alone and tortured. As the cold New England autumn arrives and Jane settles into her new home, she finds solace in old books and memories of her dad. She steadily begins making friends, but Jane also faces bullying from the resident bad seed and struggles to tamp down her own worst nightmare in response. Ruth seems to be spiraling with a return to her childhood home, but she won't reveal why. Then Jane discovers the storage room Ruth has kept locked isn't for storage at all, it's for a little girl's bedroom, left untouched for years and not quite as empty of inhabitants as it appears. This one actually sounds like really, really good. I like this feeling of this book. I've been wanting to read this one for a while. This is called The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst. Claire has grown up cycling through every worst-case scenario possible, triple-checking locks, counting her steps, second-guessing every decision she makes. It's just how she's wired. Her worst-case scenarios never come true, until she arrives at the off-the-grid summer camp her parents sent her to, only to find a blackened, burned house where a log should be and no survivors. Claire and the other two late arrivals, Rava and Mariana, are the only ones left, with a cell phone service, no electricity, no shelter, and no way back to civilization. Then it becomes clear none of this is accident. Something is hunting them. Something that hides in the shadows, something that refuses to let them leave. If they want to get out of there alive, the three will need to do more than survive. They'll need to unearth the truth no matter how long it has been buried. So I feel like I'm going to like this one. All those three are young adult novels, by the way. This one I recently found, and I can't remember, it was a recent booktuber, and they said gives off Harry Potter vibes, and I'm all for it, so I'm super excited to read this one. I believe there's only 2 books, but again, this is a library book, and I wanted to get it from the library so I could read it, also save some money. This is by Scott Renington, A Door in the Dark. So already it gives me like the Harry Potter vibes. I'll kind of do the quick. Ren Monroe has spent 4 years proving she's one of the best wizards of her generation. Top marks at Belmont University will mean nothing if she fails to get recruited by one of the major houses of Cathor. Enter Theo Brode. If being rich were a sin, he'd already be halfway there. After a failed and disastrous party trick, fate has the two of them crossing paths at the public wax-made patrol the day before the holidays. Theo's punishment is to travel home with the scholarship kids, which doesn't sit well with any of them. A fright breaks out, and in the chaos, the portal spell malfunctions. All 6 students are snatched from the safety of the school's campus and sent down in the middle of nowhere, and one of them is dead on arrival. If anyone can get through punishing wilderness with, if anyone can get them through the punishing wilderness with limited magical reserves, it's Red. She's been in survival mode her entire life, but no magic can prepare her for the tangled secrets the rest of the group is harbored or what's following them through the dark woods. This one I'm actually super excited about. Like I said, I have so many books on my shelf. I didn't want to take them all off, so I will name a few and put the books in the corner of the video also. So we got Midnight in the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. I read her book, which I enjoyed, and now I can't remember the name. Look at that, I'm awesome. Oh, in my dreams I hold a knife. That was the first one that I read by her, and I enjoyed it, so I'm actually excited to read Midnight in the Darkest Hour, so I'll kind of give it a thin. Alright. A killer haunts a small southern town, and 2 outcasts, the preacher's daughter and the boy from the wrong side of the tracks, hold the key to uncovering the truth. For fans of Verity and A Flicker in the Dark, Midnight is the Darkest Hour is a twisted tale of murder, obsessive love, and the beastly urges that lie dormant within all of us, even the God-fearing folk of Bottom Springs, Louisiana. In her small town, librarian Ruth Cornier has always felt like an outsider, even as her beloved father rains fire and brimstone warnings from the pulpit at Holy Fire Baptist. So I'm actually kind of excited about this one because I love Verity and I love the movies coming out soon. That's going to be another thing. I need to do a reread of Verity with the bonus chapter that I got. By Gillian McAllister, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. How do you stop a murder after it's already happened? Late October after midnight, you're waiting up for your 17-year-old son. He's past curfew. As you watch from the window, he emerges and you realize he isn't alone. He's walking toward a man and he's armed. You can't believe when you see him do it. Your funny, happy teenage son. He kills a stranger right there on the street outside your house. You don't know who, you don't know why, you only know your son is in custody. His future shattered. That night you fall asleep in despair. All is lost until you wake. And it is yesterday. And then you wake again, and it's the day before yesterday. Every morning you wake up. It's a day earlier, another day before the murder, with another chance to stop it. Somewhere in the past lies an answer, the trigger for this crime, and you don't have the choice but to find it. Riley Sager books, because we know Riley Sager books are Chef's Kiss. We have Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. And we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. And I'm not going to go too much into details about this, because we know they're both going to be amazing. Okay? We kind of have like eerie thriller vibes of these, I think. Excuse me, but I will read this one because I'm actually super excited for this one. Casey, a recently widowed actress trying to escape a streak of bad press, has retreated to the peace and quiet of her family's lake house in Vermont. Armed with a pair of binoculars and several bottles of bourbon, she passes the time watching Tom and Catherine Royce, the glamorous couple living in the house across the lake. They make for good viewing. A tech innovator, Tom is powerful, and a former model, Catherine, is gorgeous. One day on the lake, Casey saves Catherine from drowning, and the two strike up a friendship. The more they get to know each other and the longer Casey watches, the more it becomes clear that Catherine and Tom's marriage isn't as perfect as it appears. When Catherine vanishes, Casey immediately suspects Tom of foul play, but she doesn't realize that there's more to the story than meets the eye, and that shocking secrets can lurk beneath the most placid of surfaces. Packed with sharp characters, psychological suspense, and gasp-worthy plot twists, Riley Sager, The House Across the Lake is an ultimate escapist read. No lake house required. I know there's going to be like 5 stars. And again, this has been on my TBR probably 3 falls in a row, and I need to read it because if I don't read it this year, I need to get rid of this book. Witches Steeped in Gold by Sunun Smart. I got this originally because of the title, Witches Steeped in Gold. What a good October read, right? I'll just read this part. Enemies bent on revenge, an unlikely alliance, and one witch left standing. Hopefully I do get around to reading this. Okay? This one, again, I bought because it was like October and it looked kind of like spooky and everything. And this one's by Simone Toyin called Dark Objects. It says, how do you catch a killer if the victim doesn't exist? A woman is murdered in her London mansion and her husband goes missing, but according to public records, neither of them exist. The only leads police have are several items arranged around the woman's body, including a book called How to Process a Murder by Lafton Ress. Lafton is an academic who doesn't usually work live cases because the brutal murder of her mother when Lafton was a teen left her emotionally scarred. But the presence of her book at the scene draws her unwillingly into the high-profile investigation. As the dark objects found beside the body lead closer to the victim's identity, a dangerous threat to her and her daughter emerges, as well as a page for memories of her past and the man she's always blamed for her mother's death. John Ress, Lafton's father, the current Metropolitan Police Commissioner, and a man she has not spoken to in 20 years. Lafton's family was destroyed once, she built herself a new one. Now she has to face her darkest fears and help catch a killer before this one is destroyed too. Game changer. These ones, all these ones that I picked up so far, it just binge. These. Okay? It has to be. And the Hitchcock Hotel by Stephanie Bravo. So I didn't realize she's also the author of one of the other books that I own, Frankenstein, called, let's see if I can find it in here. I swear I saw it in here. Hold on. Yes, Darker Than Rose Gold. That's the one that's like pink and like black and pretty. That's also on my TBR list. I will post it up here. This one I actually found at the thrift store and it caught my eye because it was in the thriller section. Haven't heard of it, but it says jaw-dropping, quoted by Riley Sager. You know it's going to be good. Alfred Smedel is not your average Hitchcock fan. He is the founder, owner, and manager of the Hitchcock Hotel, a sprawling Victorian house in the White Mountains dedicated to the master of suspense. There, Alfred offers his guests round-the-clock film screenings, movie props, and memorabilia in every room, plus an aviary with 50 crows. To celebrate the hotel's first anniversary, he invites his former best friends from his college film club for a reunion. He hasn't spoken to any of them in 16 years, not after what happened, but who better than them to appreciate Alfred's creation, to help him finish it. After all, no Hitchcock set is complete without a body. And I got so many good fantasies and rereads, and I know I'm not going to get them all within like the next 4 months. But I've said this in a few of my other videos. Sarah J. Maas books. It's perfect timing for Sarah J. Maas books. And Fourth Wind and just fantasy books in general. If you're not a thriller horror kind of person who likes to read, I find fall it just really gives the fantasy vibes off, and I'm loving a lot of the books that I got on my shelf that need to be read. I feel like I do stop to read romance in the fall, it kind of dies off. I start reading more romance more like February, around Valentine's Day, and like summer kind of thing, and then I kind of switch to like fantasy. Thriller is like an all year kind of long for me, but again, that's just me. The entire Throne of Glass series that I finally own, I need to read, and that is on my TBR. So Throne of Glass, Queen of Shadows, The Assassin's Blade, Heir of Fire, Crown of Midnight, Empire of Storms, Kingdom of Ash, and Tower of Dawn. I did not say those in order, I realize that, but I'm going to read them in the order that they're supposed to be read in, not in the order they came out in, including the tandem read, which you read the two of the books at once and you flip between the chapters to understand it more. Is it going to work? I don't know. Am I going to try it? Of course I am. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. Tell me what kind of books you're reading right now. What other kind of videos you want to see. What kind of book recommendations do you like? And let me know. Authors. I need some good new thriller authors that you've heard of that are not like popular on like booktok and booktube and stuff like that. So let me know in the comment. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.